Oh my God, so we know make way for spot on with Vernon Darby. Stay tuned and be blessed.
Praise the Lord and God bless you. This is Archbishop Wayne Jonathan Manning I from Omega Radio. We'd like to inform the listening audience that effective immediately, KLAS Radio is officially Omega Radio now. You are listening to Omega Radio. Tell everybody the station where Jesus Christ is the star. God on Sports. Sensible. 89 FM Jamaica. Tell a friend, call a friend, tell everybody.
Beemul Auto Limited, your auto parts store of choice. Your satisfaction is our priority. We sell everything auto except the gas. Visit our stores, 114C Hagley Road, Kingston, 24 Caledonia Road, Bandeville, 16 Main Street, Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Contact us at 876-618-2781. The time by Beemul Auto is 1 p.m.
Saturday is one of the biggest days for sports, and Omega Sports has got you covered. Kick off your morning with the BBC Sports World for 3 hours of comprehensive roundup of various sports, including the English Premier League, from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Omega Radio, God and Sports. Sensible.
It's now time for Jamaica's first and number one daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk. Call us and let us have a discussion. All right, greetings and salutations and welcome to another episode of The Sports Desk. The name is Orville.
Good afternoon, listeners. The name is Christopher Zidane Matthews. We are on a Friday. Hopefully you all call in your numbers. We have had some nice discussions.
All right, and the numbers are 615-2841, 615-2841. And is the 676 going, Ostar? We can give the 676 as well. 676-6968. We waste no time. We understand that colors are there, so we take the first one. Hello?
It's a transmit.
Yeah, man.
Not time for crime, girls, in the coming. Big up Mr. Higgins.
Yeah, man. Who is this headset?
Zidane.
Yes, sir. Oh,
well, I have several issues adjusted in the office. Hot under the collar. First man, may I come for about you. And by extension, you to Mr. Higgins.
Yeah.
Mr. Higgins, maybe I suggest that the government should be responsible to take mine, according to Baggio. The mine athletes after they retire.
what were you suggesting?
I said no such thing.
You were talking about if they got an injury while competing and then 10 years later after retirement they realized that the injury is preventing them from doing something. You're saying they should be compensated. You didn't give any
I never said that.
Yeah, but you were trying.
I said their medical coverages should be.
No, what you maybe should do is explain your thing thoroughly so then you can.
I said that, sir. Said that.
I know, but I'm saying what you need to do is break it down.
And let me hear you say.
No, hold on, Gabi.
Why would a man re-injure?
To avoid all this confusion, Gabi. What you must do is go and study over the weekend, put your plan together, and then come and break it down for us on Monday.
I am no technocrat.
Because you're confusing us.
By the way, DC, there is I heard it. Respect you. There is a insurance policy for athletes if they get hurt while representing Jamaica, right? Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
However, we're talking about a different issue, right?
Yeah.
Then? All right. Next thing more to know. I want to get to this goalkeeper thing today.
Yes.
I want to talk a little bit about the NFL draft of it.
Yes.
As you know, last night was the first round of the NFL draft. And I want to speak about a particular team. Godfather Diego team. The New York Football Giants, right? No. In their entire history, right, they have never drafted a black quarterback or a non-white quarterback because, you know, you have Hispanics and you have Samoans and stuff. So they have never drafted a non-white quarterback in the first round, right, Orville? No, in 2018, they had 2 first-round picks. Normally you get 1 pick per round, but because they had an extra pick because of a trade, they ended up with 2 picks in the first round. That means the first round is 32 picks, so it's supposed to be 1 pick per team. However, they ended up with 2, right? So with the first pick, they selected Saquon Barkley. And then with the 15th overall pick, they took a QB out of Duke, which nobody really heard about, named Daniel Jones, right? And his tenure in New York was a failure, so much so that he was let go last year. In that very draft, sitting in the draft room, was one Lamar Jackson, who has gone on to win 2 MVPs. However, he was overlooked by the New York Giants, right? No, this year again, 2025, they ended up with 2 picks in the draft again. Again, they just let go of the young man, Daniel Jones. So they need a QB right now, right, Zidane?
Mm-hmm.
They had 2 picks last night. With the first pick, they took a defensive player, Abdul Carter. Good player, excellent player. I wouldn't complain about that pick. But with the second pick they had in the draft, in the first round, they selected a QB named Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss, who even I, as a football aficionado, has never really heard about. And sitting in the draft room this year again, Orville, is a young man named Shador Sanders, the son of Deion Sanders, who by all projections was supposed to be a first round pick, and he was not selected last night, so he's still sitting there in the second round. And I say all of this to say, this is the reason I told you from the first time I started to call this show. The NFL exhibits the highest level of racism in sports, especially when it comes to the QB position and the head coaching position. It is well documented. It is, nobody cannot deny it. You understand?
You said that based on what?
Only for evidence. If you know the history, listen, Zidane, Lamar Jackson was told to go play wide receiver, you know. The 2-time NFL MVP, who has twice been the best quarterback in the NFL, was told in the combine, hey, we know why you're playing a QB, go and play wide receiver.
Isn't that maybe wide receiver you require more athleticism, and normally black people are more athletic than white people? Maybe that is a reason.
You know what Lamar Jackson did in college? He won a trophy named the Heisman Trophy, which is the most prestigious. Which is the most prestigious trophy in college football. You know which position he won the trophy playing? QB.
How many black quarterbacks are there in the NFL now?
It depends on what you call black quarterbacks. You have to talk about regimented starters, people that are on like their second contract. There would be guys like Mahomes, Lamar, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray. There's a few more, probably 7 or 8 out of 32.
Okay, you're saying that it should be more.
No, obviously there should be more, but it's changing because the number 1 pick, ironically, was a black quarterback.
How many?
I'm just
hold on. How many? What's the ratio in terms of people playing attempting to be a quarterback, like white versus black?
In college?
Yes.
It's very easy. Because you see, in college, they are a lot more accepting of the black QBs because of the dual threat issue. The fact that they can also run and throw as well. You understand?
All right, we're not buying this argument, but I hear it.
There are a lot of teams in the NFL who are trying to be stiff-necked and want to go back to the old-time ways, Zidane, where you had the traditional white quarterback in the pocket, 6'6", standing tall and just throwing over the middle. Not really running, not really exhibiting any athleticism. You do have people with those old-time...
I don't know if it's racism, Mick. I don't know. I don't agree with that.
All right, well, history. I spoke to Diego about this last night. He can call the show. He agrees with me. He said he consulted with quite a few people in New York last night, and they all agreed with my position.
Somebody saying last year the first 3 quarterbacks selected in the draft were black.
But I'm talking about the New York Giants. What is wrong with these people? I gave you hard evidence. This team has had.
Oh, so you're saying the New York Giants is a racist franchise?
Listen, they have never selected a black quarterback in the first round. They had the chance to pick Lamar Jackson twice and overlooked him. And last night again, they had the chance to select Deion Sanders' son twice, overlooked him, and picked somebody who we never heard about. And the person who is texting you to call me and tell me where they know about Jackson Dart. Tell them to call.
Oh, so it's the Giants you're saying racist? Okay. All right.
Anyway, we need a minute to talk about some artists. So, yesterday, Zidane, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were saying that a big mistake by a goalkeeper is more costly than a QB, right?
No, I never said it quite like that.
What are you saying?
I said conceding a goal
Mm-hmm.
is more detrimental, top level football, than conceding a touchdown. Because goals.
Do you have any evidence for that?
Hold on, let me talk and let me see if you agree or not. Let me finish now. Because goals in football are far more difficult to score than points in the NFL. So me wonder if you disagree.
I disagree.
So there are nil-all games in the NFL?
Okay. Hold on now. So let me explain something.
Are there 0-0 games in NFL?
You see that you don't understand the new and I will.
Are there 0-0 results in NFL? I want you to answer. I want you to. Orville, it's not your to help you. I'll step out. I want you to answer this question. You're not going bad. No, you're not going. You're not going.
You don't understand the game.
No, I don't want you to understand the game. I just want to know that.
How much is one score worth in the NFL?
I don't care. I'm asking you. Are there 0-0 results in the NFL?
Can I get to, all right? Can I get?
How many nil-all scoreline do you have in NFL?
Can I get to speak? What is wrong with this?
Answer my question. No. You will answer my question. You will answer my question. When you answer this question, how often?
I am not going to.
How often?
There have been 0-0 games.
How often do you have 0-0 games in NFL?
No, Zidane, let me speak.
Relative to football.
Zidane, let me speak.
When you no, Gav. No.
QB's errors. Hold on about. It's the worst.
And anyways, Gav, they say we have to run to the pen relay.
Oh, so you don't want me to talk?
No, the producer is saying we have to run to the pen relay. There's a report.
A touchdown is worth 7 points in the NFL. So if a QB gives up 2 touchdowns,
how many 0-0 do you have in the NFL?
You have a 90.
But you don't have nil-all in the NFL. You play 90 minutes of football. You have 90 minutes of football. You are an illogical man, my boss. Anyways, you know nothing about logic, my boss. You know nothing about anything. Everything you're wrong, you're wrong about. You're wrong about the racism thing. You're wrong about everything, my boss. You just don't. You're just not logical. Anyways, we're going to the pen relays. Garvey, we gone. No, it's you talk about the things that we're going to the pen relays. When Garvey don't go on, we have pen relays, Garvey. Leave us, Garvey. Leave us. You say you're coming back Monday. People, Garvey is a ripe old idiot, my boss. I'm not going to take it personal. I can't call my names too. But Garvey sounds like a ripe old idiot. Listeners, it's clear. Multiple times we have watched football and see 0-0 games. You hardly ever watch an NFL game and see it end scoreless. You know why, listeners? It's the one answer to that. It is easier to score in the sport of NFL than it is to score in the sport of football. No simple logic that. The reason why you have far more scoreless games at the top level of the sport of football relative to the top level of the. As a matter of fact, I doubt you struggle to find 0-0 games in NFL. It happens very often in football. Because it's far more difficult to score in football. You don't need no more logic than that to end that to say it is easier to score in NFL than it is to score in football. Garvey, you're insane, my boss, if you're going to disagree with that. We'll take a break. We're coming back.
Live coverage of the 2025 Pen Relays is sponsored by Access to Information, Right to Know, Power to Change, Edge Campaigns, Changing Lives 1 gallon at a time, Western Sports, The Sports People, Spectrum Insurance Brokers, Setting the Industry Standards, Hawker Electronic Security Company, Securing what matters most.
Sports Development Foundation, developing a nation through sports. Pyramid Group, Kurt FP Division, DPH, minimize the symptoms, maximize the relief.
And Champion Battery, the battery of champions, celebrating 49 years of service.
Championship of America 4x100 meters relay at a time of 39.79 seconds. They have the 4x4 and the 4x8 to compete day 2 of the pen relays. All the best, coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
definitely. So that was Coach Howell, and on track now. You're not missing any action, ladies and gentlemen. We have the collegiate men's distance medley on track, and by my watch, they're just on the first leg, so the first change about to be made in that event. About to be made in that event. I want to say a big thank you to Anik, who is a part of our team here. She was instrumental in getting Coach Howell up the stairs just now, and really thankful for that. So as mentioned, the collegiate men's distance medley championship of America event ongoing. The women's event was won in the final stages, I believe, by Virginia. Just confirm that momentarily. Yes, Virginia. They won 10 minutes 42.16 seconds ahead of Providence, who were in the lead in the home stretch. They have not won since 1992, Providence, and it seems as if they were jinxed by the stadium announcer, because as soon as he said that Providence has not won this event since 1992, Virginia went past them in the home stretch. So their drought continues in the collegiate women's distance medley championship of America event. Georgetown, they were third in 10 minutes 46.60 seconds. The men, as mentioned, on track. And the distance medley, by the way, is a very interesting race. Unlike the sprint medley, where it is 4x2 by 2 by 8, distance medley starts off with a 1200 meter first leg, then a 400 meter second leg, then an 800 meters third leg, and they end with a 1600 meters fourth leg. Some will say it's a mile, but a true mile is not 1600 meters, a little more than 1600 meters. But for the purposes of the understanding, it's 4 laps, so people just call it a mile. And so you'll hear a person say the mile relay, which is the 4x400 meters relay, 4 times around the track, 4 times around a 400 meter track, 4x4 16, and hence why persons try to stick with the mile being 1600. But it's a little more than 1600 meters if you're speaking technically. So the 800 meters leg now ongoing. The leaders still Texas A&M. Well, this is a final leg, rather, it appears. And Cooper Carthra, the man anchoring for the Texas A&M team, wearing gray and burgundy, gray tops, burgundy shorts. The meet record, by the way, 9 minutes 20.10 seconds. One of the oldest records on the books at Penn Relays. That was done by Arkansas back in 1989. That's some 36 years ago. So they're down the back stretch once more, and it's Texas A&M leading. Washington now in second. They have moved past the Oregon Ducks, the school of Kemba Nelson and Xavier Neer. So as they head around the 150 curve to turn back into the straightaway, Texas A&M continues to hold the lead. So Texas A&M in front, Washington in second, Oregon in the full green in third. Washington, by the way, in white tops and blue shorts. Massive blue W on the front of their shirts. Can't miss them. And they're about to lap Maryland, who sits back at the pack. It's actually Yukon at the back. So as they come onto the backstretch once more, it's still Texas A&M in front. Collegiate men's distance medley relay championship of America event. The chasing pack, about 6 teams in that chasing pack. So as they go by the wall of fame, which is about at the 150 meter mark, it's still Texas A&M in front. Washington in second. Oregon still in third. Texas A&M again there anchor leg runner Cooper Hawthorne. Oregon, they have Reinhardt Harrison. And Washington, they have Nathan Green. The bell sounds. 400 meters left. The final leg here now. And it is still Texas A&M, Washington, and Oregon. That positioning has not changed as they turn onto the backstretch. Washington trying to close on the Texas A&M team. They go on the outside. Oregon also follows. Washington now in front at the 200-meter mark. It's Washington in front. Oregon moves with them and in second. Texas A&M, the leaders for quite a while in this race, find themselves in third. They'll head into the straightaway, into the home stretch. Urged on by the crowd. It's Washington. More turn away. Oregon trying to go with them, but Washington opens a gap. And Washington will not be caught. Washington wins it. Oregon in second, and Texas A&M almost caught at the line, but manages to go across the line in third. 9:25:22. The record survives again. Oregon 9 minutes 26:38 in second. Texas A&M, as mentioned, held on for third. Their time 9 minutes 26.83. So Washington not amongst the recent champions in this race. And Virginia, the team that was finishing fast, they finished in fourth, 9:26:84, 100th of a second outside the time done by Texas A&M, who saw their lead shrink. We're standing by now for the collegiate women's 4x200 meters relay Championship of America event. See if there will be multiple sections. The meet record 1 minute 28.05 seconds, set by Texas back in 2023. That team, a fantastic team led by the current Olympic 100 meter champion Julian Alfred, Rashida Adeleke, the Irish 400 meter runner, Dania Thomas, who represents Jamaica, and Kevona Davis, who was still at Texas, really part of that record-setting team. That's a collegiate record, rather, of 1:28.05. The pen relays record held by Texas A&M, 1:29.42, and that was done in 2010 by Jennifer Tarmo, Gabby Mayo, Jessica Beard, and Portia Lucas. A fantastic quartet there. All those ladies would have gone on to represent the United States of America in global competitions. So section 1, lane 5, Staten Island, lane 6 is Wagner, lane 7 is Temple, lane 8 Fordham, and lane 9 is Holy Family. Both UTEC and, UTEC rather, is listed as a team that should be participating in this event. Ethan Chambers, by the way, will be on the lead-off leg for Wagner. Formerly of St. Andrew High, Rutan Chambers. She'd have seen a current St. Andrew High School girl taking the high school girls high jump competition. Remind you of those results, by the way. Shanika Williams of St. Andrew High, 1.82 meters, beating Danielle Noble of Wolmer's, who cleared 1.77 meters at her best. We also had the conclusion of the high school girls discus throw competition. Najada Seymour of Excelsior won with 51.01 meters ahead of St. Catherine's Abel Mills, 50.09, and Clarendon College's Jamila Young, 47.54. In the shot put competition, Jessica Oji of Livingston, New Jersey, jumped through 15.96 meters to win the high school girls shot put, ahead of Annie Mackey of the Queen's College in the Bahamas, 14.60, and Kanika Smith of Excelsior was third, 14.56. 4.53 meters. In the girls' long jump competition, Lily Verbeek, in the final jump, leapt 6.07 meters to win. Ahead of St. Elizabeth Technical's Chloe Palmer, 6.02 meters. And St. Catherine's Johanna Sudlow, 5.88 meters. And in the girls' triple jump, another victory for Jamaican Jaden Dawkins of St. Jago, jumping 13.18 meters to win. Ahead of Sabrina Atkins of Hydel, 12.51. And Destiny Smith of Southerton out of Pennsylvania, 12.50. So those are the field events that had Jamaican high school participation earlier. 3 wins there for the Jamaicans. And credit to the finishes in including second positions in the shot put and long jump. Collegiate women's throw by 200 meters Championship of America event now on track. They have been waiting for some time. Their event was scheduled for 2:30. We're 5 minutes ahead of schedule. Section 1 has Staten Island in 5, Wagner in 6, Texas in 7, Fordham in 8, and Holy Family in 9. No improvement in the attendance based on our observation at the moment. A lot of seats on the main grandstand, the main stand by the home stretch, and on a Friday that is normally filled to capacity. Yesterday we spoke about the new immigration policies of the U.S. government under the Trump administration that could potentially have an impact on the turnout given the large diaspora presence of not only Jamaican citizens but Caribbean citizens in general in this area. So the 4x200 meters relay Championship of America, Section 1 on the way. 5 teams in this one. 129.42 is the record. On the outside in lane 9, Holy Family, they have started fast. For them, just behind them, waking up ground early is Temple in lane 7. And in lane 5, that's Staten Island. They have work to do. The first changes have been made. Lane number 8, that's Fordham. So the team out of New York holds the lead. Wagner in lane number 6, trying to close the gap. On the outside in 9, that's Holy Family. Holy Family with a slight lead, and then Temple now gets into the mix. So Temple changes first, just ahead of Holy Family. So Temple in front. They turn onto the backstretch now. That's Temple. Just on the inside is Wagner in lane 6, and on the outside, Fordham in 8. Temple cruising down the backstretch. The final pass is made. And Temple here leads them all as they head towards the line. Wagner giving chase. And it could be close in the home stretch as they turn for home now. Temple hanging on for the lead. Wagner still pressing. And I think that Temple is going to have enough in the tank to get the win, and they do. 1:38.79 the flash time. That's the time assigned as well to Temple. Wagner in second, 1:39.40 in second. Holy Family, 1:42.72 in third. By the way, St. George's College being presented with their wagon wheel for the win in the International 4x100 meters relay. St. George's College with a vastly improved track and field program over the last 3 years, bearing fruit now in 2025. Section 2 is on track momentarily. The If you're just joining our coverage, you're listening to Penn Relay's action here. We're at the historic Franklin Field at the University of Pennsylvania. And the event on track is the Collegiate Women's Championship of America 4x200 meters relay. Lane 4 is Caffey. Lane 5, Cornell. Lane 6, James Madison. Lane 7, Essex CC. And lane 8, Ryder. Lane 9 is Stella Winner State. So the fastest time, it's a timed final. 1:38.79 by Temple in section 1. The runners were on their marks, but they've been asked to stand. Now they're set back to their marks. 4x200 meters relay, Championship of America, Collegiate Women's event. Second section. It's a timed final. 1:38.79, the fastest time so far. Run by Temple in section 1. So they're on their marks. The starter on the rostrum. Pistol in air, sends them in the set position. Now they're off. Lane number 6 has James Madison. They've started strongly. Strong winds now coming across the Franklin Field ground. The first change being made on the outside in lane 9, that's Delaware State in red. Being followed closely by Ryder in lane number 8. Those two teams creating a gap or opening a gap between themselves and the chasing pack. Essex CC in the green in the middle of the track is next best. So the first change about to be made, it's Ryder in lane 8 who leads. Delaware State in second. Closing the gap is James Madison in 6. They have caught Essex CC. So Ryder still holds the lead as they head onto the backstretch. This is lovely running as well in lane number 6 for James Madison. Trying to close the stagger as well. The final change is made. It is still Ryder. Then James Madison. So Ryder in front. And then James Madison. So James Madison. So James Madison in front. James Madison will get the best of Ryder. Well, it's Cornell. Team in lane 5. Not James Madison. 1:39.59. Ryder in second. 1:39.78. Essex 1:45.7 in third, and then James Madison 1:40.82. Those times though not able to trouble the top two. Temple still leads with 1:37.9, 1:38.79. Section 3 gearing up to be on the track. 4x200 meters relay. Championship of America event. It's a timed championship final. Standing by for the men's 4x200 meters relay. That comes up next. In the meantime, section 3 of the Collegiate Women's 4x200 meters relay Championship of America. Third heat. Lane 5, Chicago State. Lane 6, Coppin State. Lane 7, Pittsburgh. Lane 8, Maryland. Lane 9, Norfolk State. In the meantime, the height of the bar in the Collegiate Women's pole vault competition has now moved up to 3.96 meters. Jenna Engels of Sacred Heart, unable to get over at her 3 attempts at that height. Rachel Mason, who is now in 8th position. This is her 3rd and final attempt at 3.96 meters. She's from Yukon. As she gears up to make her way down the runway in this pole vault competition. Here she comes, just in front of her broadcast position, and she throws down the pole, runs onto the mat. Will be a foul, and she exits the competition in 8th. Next up is Alessia Sipskowski of William and Mary. This again her 3rd and final attempt at 3.96 meters. Down the runway she comes. Almost went over, but landing almost on the bar as well. So she exits again as the 3rd section of the 4x200 meters relay collegiate women on the way. Good start for Pittsburgh in lane 7. Wearing blue on the outside is Norfolk State in lane number 9. Trying to pull Pittsburgh with them. It's Norfolk State in 9 in front. And Pittsburgh trying to cut the stagger now. So Pittsburgh and Norfolk State, the top 2 teams at the moment in section 3. The penultimate change is made, and it's Pittsburgh who now goes into the ascendancy. 4x200 meters relay collegiate women's championship of America event, section 3. It's a timed championship final, and Pittsburgh they lead. Lane 6 has Coppin State trying to get close. Their batting pass not the best as the final changes are made, but it's Pittsburgh on their way for a fast time. 1:38.79, remind you, is the fastest time recorded so far. Trying to go with them now is Chicago State. But Pittsburgh will win it, and it will be the fastest time of the afternoon. Pittsburgh 1:34.74 the win. Chicago State, they're 1:36.86 in second, moves them second overall, and Maryland, they're 1:37.88, puts them in 3rd overall as well. So the fastest heat so far, section 3, the top 3, they have moved into the top 3 positions overall in this 4x200 meters collegiate women's championship of America event. One more section to come at least. So the final section comes up now on track. So no UTEC. So the final section features in lane 5, Nevada, Las Vegas. South Florida is in 6, TCU in 7, Howard in 8, and Houston in 9. South Florida should have a fast team. (1:34.74) now the fastest time. We have a series of 100 meters, 100 meter hurdles, and 110 meter hurdles coming up after the collegiate men's 4x200 meters championship of America event for collegiate athletes. David Oliver, the Olympic gold medalist at 110 hurdles, down on the infield. Coach now. So they're on their mark. Start to put them in the set position. Off they go then. Down the back stretch early. It's Houston in red. Being pressed by Howard. So David Oliver, the coach there, Howard University. Watching his team from the infield. And they lead at the moment. It's Howard University. TCU in lane 7 in white, trying to close the gap as well as they head down the straightaway. It's Howard leading. Houston on the outside, and then seems to be South Florida just behind TCU. It's going to be a close finish because as it stands, South Florida now kicks into high gear. It's South Florida leading on the Stagers. The final change beckons. They turn onto the back stretch. It's South Florida in front, but slightly. TCU shoulder to shoulder as they queue across. With TCU in front now. TCU, Howard, and South Florida. The top three teams. Houston well back. It's TCU in total command at this stage as they turn into the home stretch. TCU storming away from both South Florida and Howard. TCU wins it. Howard in second. South Florida across the line in third. 1:33.04. Fastest time now recorded. Howard 1:33.89 in second. South Florida 1:34.10 in third. Houston with their 1:35.56 puts them fifth overall. So apart from Pittsburgh, the top three times here, this is now the fastest heat and the final heat. So TCU, they are the champions in the Championship of America Collegiate Women's 4x200 meters relay. Their time of 1:33.04 in the final section gives them that win over Howard University, 1:33.89, and South Florida, their time 1:34.10. The Collegiate Men's 4x200 meters relay is next. Again, UTEC and GC Foster College were listed. We wait to see if they will be running. South Florida, the defending champions. Section 1. Lane 6, Old Dominion. Lane 7, Catholic. Lane 8, Staten Island. Lane 9, Sunny Delhi. Collegiate Men's 4x200 meters Championship of America event. If you're just joining our coverage, a quick recap on the high school girls side. 3 Jamaican schools advanced to the Championship of America 4x800 meters relay. Alphonsus Davis, Homewood Technical, and Edwin Allen, they had the second, third, and fourth fastest times overall, respectively. IMG Academy out of Florida, the fastest in qualifying. In the 4x100 meters relay, we had St. Mary Heidel, Edwin Allen, Wilmers, and Homewood Technical advancing. Heidel having the fastest time at 44.54. Edwin Allen next best with 44.64. And Wilmers right there with the third fastest time, a little over 45 seconds. First section of the Collegiate Men's 4x200 meters relay Championship of America. Again, it is a timed championship final. So the winning time overall gets the honor of raising the wagon wheel. Sunny Delhi. State University of New York, Delhi.
All right, so we take a quick commercial break. The program is on, people. We're carrying live updates from the pen relays. And after this report, we'll come back for more sports text and your call. So keep it locked here at Omega Radio FM 89. We'll take a break. We're coming back.
Slowing starting? Won't start? Visit Champion Battery Company Limited, specializing in automotive batteries, windshield repair, and headlamp polishing. Don't replace discolored head and tail light. Restore to factory-like condition with the Polyhog system. Glass technology, we save them. Everything priced to meet recession and your shrinking dollar. Champion Battery does it all. The battery of champions. Visit 59 Constant Spring Road, Kingston 10. Telephone 926-2646.
Greetings to you, listeners. This is Reverend Ryan A. Gordon, Senior Pastor of the Broken Vessels Healing and Deliverance Ministries, located at 120 Main Street, Pineapple, Ocheria, St. Anne, Jamaica, West Indies. Join me every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. inside the Kingdom Lifestyle Radio Show with Brother Frisco. Join me for a word in time. You cannot afford to miss this powerful word every Sunday morning on this station.
It's all right. Still stands 11 years later.
Stop the sneeze. Grab some DPH.
I'm congested. DPH?
DPH! Mommy, I have a runny nose.
Come and take some DPH.
Getting rid of a cold or allergies is easy. Take DPH in adult or children's formulation and eliminate your sniffling, coughing, sneezing, and itching. DPH. Minimize the symptoms, maximize the relief. Another great product from the Caramel Group.
All right, welcome back to the Sports Desk, people, and we throw to more pen relays, but we will come back for your calls maybe in 10 minutes or so.
Almost went over. The bar goes down, so she's out. Section 2 on track, lane 5, St. Joseph's. Lane 6, Morgan State. Lane 7, Coppin State. Lane 8, Lock Haven. And lane 9, Troy. Collegiate men's 4x200 meters relay. Championship of America event. Infield, a buzz with activity. Sprinters going through their workouts. They have the short sprints next. The sprint hurdles happening as well. The women go first with their 100 and 100 meter hurdles. They'll be on opposite sides of the track. In previous years, the 100 meters would have been in the home stretch, and they're normally run from left to right. That's the quote-unquote original end of the 100 meters up towards the start area, what one would consider the start area for the 100 meters. And on the back stretch, they'll be running from the top of the 300 meters down to beyond the 200 meters on either side. Off they go then for section 2. 1:27.60 the flash time, the winning time in section 1 by Sunny Delhi. Not much separating the teams at the moment in section 2. All white flags around so far. Troy with the early lead. Coppin State also trying to close the gap. As they come to the penultimate change now. So Coppin State with the lead. Morgan State just behind them, and then the outside Lock Haven. Down the back stretch they come. Coppin State with the lead. Morgan State just behind them still. The final change about to be made. It's a good pass from Morgan State. Coppin State though still with the advantage as they turn to make their way past the Wall of Fame into the home stretch. It's Coppin State from Morgan State. Coppin State backs into the line and they'll get the win in section 2. Whoa, 124.30. Not a bad time, puts them at the top of the pile. 124.30 for Coppin State. 124.82 for Morgan State and Lock Haven. 125.77. So the high school boys 4x400 meters Championship of America, about 1 hour and 10 minutes away. That final, by the way, will feature a few Jamaican schools. Jamaica College is in it. They'll have DeAndre Gale, Roger Black, Maitland Woods, Zamari Robinson. Kingston College is there. They'll have Rashawn Lee, Marcus Smith, Jordan Rehado, Jabulani McLeod. Calabar will have Keanu Charles, Nicoy Bramwell, Julian Gallimore, and Robert Miller. Excelsior, they'll have Kishon Hoffman, DeMarco Bennett, Ricardo Carr, and Daniel Wright. And St. Elizabeth Technical, they'll have Odane Thompson, Raheem Miller, Delano Brown, and Swain Carr. The Bullis School, they'll have Quincy Wilson and Anchor. They look very good in qualifying yesterday at the Bullis School. Kept a check of the times that were run last evening. The Bullis School did 3:11.01, the fastest time in qualifying. 3:11.58 for Calabar, the second fastest in qualifying. They have Nicoy Bramwell back. Normally runs either the second or third leg, Nicoy Bramwell. Former Carifta under 17 gold medalist at 400 meters. Ran the record in Grenada in that event last year. That record survived in 2025. So still waiting for the start of section 3, lane 5 Fordham, lane 6 Maryland, lane 7 Rowan, lane 8 TCNJ, lane 9 Norfolk State. That's the lineup for section 3 of the Collegiate Men's 4x200 meters Championship of America. It's a timed championship final. The time that leads them all at the moment is the time done just now by Coppin State, 1 minute 24.30. It's sent to their marks. So further, they're the defending champions. They are listed to be running, so you'll probably see them in a later heat. 6 competitors in section 3. Rowan in lane number 7 in the full gray. They lead based on the stagger. Just on their inside is Maryland in white and red, white tops, red tights. The outside in lane 9 is Norfolk State. Messed up the back and pass a bit, but they managed to get the change going. And they have a little lead. Morgan State. Norfolk State, rather. They have the lead still. They're followed by Rowan. So they turn into the backstretch once more. Lane 6 has Maryland. They're trying to close the gap on Rowan. Final changes are made. The Maryland ankle leg man ran out of his lane, but he's in a straight and he didn't impede anyone, so he'll be safe. So Norfolk State with the lead in the home stretch. Rowan trying to go with them. And so too is Maryland, but it's going to be Norfolk State who gets a win. Their time 1:24.03. And that is now the fastest time recorded so far Rowan was second, 125.04. Maryland third, 125.55. I always admire the organization of the Penn Relays year in, year out, how they manage to get these races off in a jiffy. It's a number of athletes who converge on the University of Pennsylvania every year around the last week of April to be a part of these relay carnival. And from what we have seen, many other meets would have been overwhelmed by this participation, but the logistics handling of this, the organizers, show that they have put a lot of thought, a lot of effort in ensuring that the meet runs smooth. Yesterday, for a large part of the afternoon, they were behind by about 10 minutes. At one stage, they were behind by as much as 15 minutes. They've managed to get right back on schedule later on in the afternoon. Today, they have been largely ahead of schedule. It happens, it's a Penn Relays. But my highlight is that they're able to do so much, so many moving parts, being like a part of a well-oiled machine, moving together in harmony and unison, and the spectators can enjoy track and field as best as possible. Arguably, they are helped out by the fact that they don't really use starting blocks for most of the races, and they are helped out as well by the fact that they have two straights, one on the home stretch and one on the back stretch, where you can have simultaneous events taking place, which does help with the tight schedule, the compact schedule of the timetable, which we'll see momentarily when the 100 meters will be on one side and the 100 hurdles on the other side. The flip will happen, well, the same will happen for the boys when you have, or the men, collegiate men, 100 on one side and 110 meter hurdles on the other side. Another thing that you'd want to realize, that they tend to not draw your attention to the presentation that happens on the infield unless it's a significant time or mark done. So, for example, yesterday with Michael Andre Edwards in the triple jump, the youngster from Jamaica College, with his jump in that final, I think it was 15.95 meters, was the second best jump all time in the triple jump at the Penn Relays. So the stadium announcer asked for persons to turn their attention down to that event for them to acknowledge Michael Andre Edwards for his presentation. But largely, most of the presentations that are done without much fanfare, without the announcer turning the attention to the activities there. By the way, section 4 is on the way. This is the big one. GC Foster College in 9, the defending champions, South Florida in lane 6 as well. The other teams, UMass in 5, Texas A&M in 7, and Houston in 8. It should be a fast final. GC Foster College in front, Houston in lane 8, trying to give chase to defending champions. South Florida in lane 6 comes forward. They have gone by Texas A&M as they storm forward in the straightaway. It's GC Foster College, but South Florida, they have closed the stagger and they have a slight lead. They change first. A slow change for GC Foster College. Bring not only South Florida back in closer to them, but also Houston. Down the back stretch they come now. And it is Jaheem Rahisi for Riosi rather of GC Foster College, and for South Florida, Jaleel Kroll, the Bahamian. Well, the final change is made, and it's South Florida in charge now. Can GC Foster College reel them in? The bang up comes behind them as well with Houston and Texas A&M. GC Foster College is going to be caught by those two schools, but South Florida will likely defend their title. Watch the time as well. Well, the record survives, but it's very quick. 1:21.06 for South Florida, and that means they defend their title faster than the time they ran last year. They ran 1:22.08 in 2024. They run even faster in 2025. 1:21.06. Texas A&M 1:22.23. Second, Houston 1:22.41. Both those teams passing GC Foster College in the home stretch. GC Foster College has to settle for fourth. Their time 1:22.44. So the top four from section 4 are the top 4 teams overall to conclude the 4x200 meters for collegiate men Championship of America event. Congratulations to South Florida for retaining their title in that event. Yeah, so just before the start of that race, you might be wondering, why is Donald talking so much about the ceremonies? Well, for me personally, I don't believe, unless you have a major event like in Jamaica, champs per se.
All right, so we take a break, we play the music, and we go up until 4 p.m. Expect to hear from your calls on the other side of all of that. 615-2841, that's 615-2841, or 676-6968. Hopefully, the other callers are much better than what we heard from the first one, because it was a shockingly poor call. He's not a great caller, but I think he went to the lowest level he has ever gone to on this program earlier on today. We take a break. We're coming back.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
2 o'clock.
Saturday is one of the biggest days for sports, and Omega Sports has got you covered. Kick off your morning with the BBC Sports World for 3 hours of comprehensive roundup of various sports, including the English Premier League from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Omega Radio, God and Sports, sensible.
For financial news and the latest developments in the business community and economy, Financially Speaking is the top choice. Join me, your host Errol Gregory, Mondays and Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. as we look at current economic issues, provide small business tips, and help you to build your business and portfolio. That's Financially Speaking, sponsored by Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSC Online Trading.
You're listening to Jamaica's first and #1 daytime sports calling show, The Sports Desk.
And it's time for our first selection, and it's brought to you by Edge Campaigns for people who dream in color. Gifted Hands by one of them. So, is the artist's name is Gifted Hands, and the song is one of them. All right, let's go to that selection now.
A new creation, one who believes I'm a child of God. A holy nation, friend of the king. I'm protected and I'm loved. I'm an heir, torn the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the ones. One of who? One of the unashamed, I mean unashamed. Never do I hesitate to doubt to call upon his name. Call him mighty God, call him Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings, he's the one who reigns. He's the Alpha, Omega, Jehovah, and we give him glory because he is the one. Yeah, we walk through the valley. We were not fearing the evil. We running and not growing weary. And soaring on wings like we eagles. We getting rid of our pride and stepping away from our ego. We keep our lips from telling lies. Our tongues from speaking the evil. We got on the armor of God. Built the truth, peace. We know that the devil is a lie. The word about him will lose and sleep. We been depending on God. He said his grace is all we need. So where we keeping our minds? We keeping our minds stayed on me. Cause he is the one. I done been in the world, but I never been friends with the world. Maybe because I'm not of the world, I don't follow the world. Even if I'm meant to take it out, then it's probably out of this world. I'm a model of the world, I'm a represent God on this earth. In and outside of the church, the Father is first. I don't have a physical Bible, but baby, my Bible at work. I know God is the one that supplies me with all that I need. That is through Jesus Christ, and I'm certain that all things are possible if you believe. So keep on speaking life. I know from the love of God that nothing can separate me. Not even death, either life. I know poverty catches up with too much slumber or sleep. So I'ma just sleep at night, and the Lord is my strength. Who should I be afraid of? I fall on my knees and repent. He's better than what I done gave her. If I am the one being sent, Satan gon' see what I'm made of. Man, if you had any sins, I'm telling you now, he will change her. It's a delicate thing when I say I'm a step for the king. I put that on everything. With a mess, I'm clean. I don't mess with the devilish things. I love and respect Elohim. He be setting us free. We know that all things are working together, declare and decree. Do you know of all things and God is preparing for me? No, it's never been seen. Okay, I'm one of the ones, a new creation, one who believes I'm a child of God, a holy nation, for another king. I'm protected and I'm loved. I'm an heir, so on the seas. I've been forgiven, I have been freed, I have been chosen, I've been redeemed. Okay, I'm one of the ones. One of who? One of the unashamed, I mean unashamed. Never do I hesitate to doubt to call upon his name. Call him mighty God, call him Jesus Christ. He's the King of Kings, he's the one who reigns. He's the Alpha, Omega, Jehovah, and we give him glory because he is the one.
Big bad rap gospel song that. Gifted hands. Somebody sings he literally doesn't have any hands.
Time clearance.
Yeah, that's his name, and it's one of them. Brought to you by Edge Campaigns for people who dream in color. Yes, so people, do me a beg. Call and raise the level of what we heard earlier from Mr. God. 615-2841, that's 615-2841, or 676-6968. We go back online. Hello. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Yeah, man, you're on, man. I'm hearing you.
I was just wondering if it was you or Orville is also in the studio.
No, Orville has had some emergency, it appears.
Okay, all right. So yeah, one over the argument as to the football, the goalkeeper versus the quarterback position. My name is Ace, by the way. It's Ace Garden.
Yes. Yeah, man, go ahead, Ace.
Yeah, so one thing that I found interesting about the conversation was that the whole on the position being a primary offensive position versus a primary defensive position, and between two different sports. So I found that very interesting, and I think that kind of might have some people arguing outside of the context of what it really is.
Yes.
Yeah, but definitely the football, the goalkeeper position is definitely important, and quarterback position is important. But to match them against each other is kind of tricky. But my 2 cents on the matter is the goalkeeping position, right? If you should argue which one is more important, you have an argument where they say the rules don't play a part, but I think under the scope of importance, the rule does play a part. And we're in football where the goalkeeper is mandatory and the quarterback in NFL is not mandatory. That gives the goalkeeping position ahead for me. Because under the argument and the definition of importance, the thing that is mandatory takes precedence.
No, that is obvious. I don't think anybody would argue that from that standpoint.
And that is sometimes the obvious is the whole fact of the matter.
From a rule standpoint, that the rule says that goalkeeper must be in the net. So that's not what they're arguing from. They're arguing from the level of what they think, which is likely to impact the result. Whether you win or you lose. When you combine both, you know?